Hey folks, welcome back to the Play to Win podcast. I am Alex, and I've got your other game gurus here, Jared.
Hey, what's up?
And Josh. And today we're going to be talking the summer showcases. We just got a crap ton of news and a lot of really cool announcements. I'm not going to lie, if E3 had come along, this would have been one hell of a banger of E3 year, right? We finally got just a great showcase, and E3's dead, and we couldn't have it, couldn't keep it alive. But honestly, this is a really fantastic showing. I'm super stoked for it. So we'll go ahead and go through the showcases as they presented. So we'll start with PlayStation's and kind of run through, and we'll end with today's showcase, Nintendo's Direct, which they, in Nintendo fashion, dropped at the last minute. Hey, by the way, tomorrow we're having a showcase. They may give us a little bit more leeway, but not much. So let's start with PlayStation's showcase. Josh, as our resident PlayStation 5 guru here, what was your top level, your kind of high level picks from the showcase?
Well, so I think first and foremost, Sony started this showcase off with a targeted approach on their first party games. And I think that was kind of present throughout a lot of it. But obviously, Marvel's Wolverine was a big one. Sony Santa Monica, LaFay, the new God of War game as well. Those look like two, obviously, AAA, quadruple A titles. Wolverine's coming out in the very near future, in the late part of the summer, right? LaFay will probably be out sometime mid-2027, it sounds like.
I don't think they gave us a date, did they?
Maybe not.
I think
not
it's
sure.
Still to be announced. At least that's
I
my
think
understanding.
I actually was looking at the Until Dawn 2 on that line.
Oh, okay. Wolverine actually comes out on my birthday.
Yeah.
Of all days.
Nice.
But I mean, that game looks very visceral, is probably the best way to describe it.
That's the exact word I was thinking too.
I find it a little weird that the blood on your uniform just kind of magically disappears after like 5 seconds of running, but because he's just caked in blood, like after killing one person. So it's
one of his lesser known superpowers.
Yeah, he like absorbs it. Maybe he absorbs the blood and that's how he regenerates his own
It's
healing.
actually his sweat is dry cleaner fluid.
There you go. But I mean, it throws you right in, I think in what would probably be an early part of the game, right? You're introduced to several mutants and you're kind of just shown how you can also be a little bit more destructive with the environment and really just kind of how that is really part of Logan's personality. So
I know probably the biggest, the most anticipated game from Sony coming up is probably Marvel's Wolverine.
Yeah. Outside of that, we got the reveal of Rayman, the remake, and I guess a lot of people.
Have you ever played a Rayman?
I have never played a Rayman game.
This could be the first.
Possibly. And then obviously Onimusha, that looked like a really fun game too. Kind of just, sword, a technical combat. Not quite maybe Souls, maybe more of like in a way that you can do certain things to like counter enemy attacks, maybe similar to maybe like a Witcher, you can like deflect arrows and things like that, but not really in terms of how the game actually plays. But it seems like it'd be a really fun Bushido style game.
Okay.
And, those were some of the big ones. Obviously, I mentioned what was it? Until Dawn 2, which is kind of that Final Destination kind of like a slasher flick video game where, you have the power to make certain outcomes happen, make certain people survive or die. And you really don't have, at least on a first playthrough, you don't have a whole lot of wherewithal to know what outcome will keep people alive. So it's an interesting game, and I think a lot of people, again, were clamoring for it. There's a lot of cameos from actors and voice actors in the game and that series. So, yeah, it will be an interesting title for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people are excited about that one, too.
They mentioned, too, the new Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis in that showcase as well. Jared, did you play the Tomb Raider games, the Crystal Dynamics series?
I did.
The last reboot? What'd you think of those?
I loved them. I thought they were great games. They looked really nice, like really, really good. Even still, they hold up. But I thought the way the story flowed, I thought the balance between real and supernatural was really good in them. I thought how Lara was presented was really good in the games as well. I loved them. I thought they were great.
What do you think about the new
Uncharted.
direction? Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. What do you think about the new direction that they're taking with the reboot?
Aren't they just kind of redoing the OG essentially?
Well, so there's a couple of things. There's an OG redo, and actually, I'm not sure. I think Legacy of Atlantis is the new game,
Yeah.
if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
that's in the Crystal Dynamics tree, right?
It's not. It's a reboot.
Just a complete reboot. Okay.
Yeah, take a look at it. They actually, because they crossed. When they announced this. In the I forget one of the previous showcases, they it may have been at the Game Awards. They showed how they kind of crossed new Laura with old Laura, and it's just kind of a neat. Take a look. I'll be interested to see what you think as a fellow Tomb Raider fan. So that is one thing we didn't mention that we did in our run of show want to mention was the Silent Hill.
Yeah.
New Silent Hill game, Townfall.
Yeah,
That's coming out in September. So we don't have a date for God of War Le Fay. Wolverine comes out September 15th, 2026. Until Dawn is listed as 2027. We didn't mention Control Resonant, but that comes out this year in September on the 24th as well. That game's looking pretty good. I was never a big Control fan. Jared, I know. Well, let me be fair. I never played Control. For some reason, never spoke to me. I know, Jared, you were really into Control.
That game is so awesome.
Rayman Legends is October 2026, October 1st. And then Townfall, Silent Hill Townfall is September 24th, 2026. Then Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis is February 12th, 2027. So that is most of what we talked about today. So let's shift to the next of our showcases, which is Summer Game Fest. I think this probably had Josh and I's game of the month, which was the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Revelation, the third and final part of the remake trilogy. Josh, what do you think?
Well, I mean, what they showed and then kind of what they spoke of and detailed in the developer sessions thereafter were basically two sides of the same tree, but all equally awesome sides. The gameplay and the trailers that they showed were basically showing everything that was new, because we're familiar with everybody in terms of how they factor into the story, except for Sid and Vincent, and then obviously the capability to now effectively travel around what they claim to be a true open world via a giant airship called the Highwind. And from what it sounded like, you're basically going to have access to that very early in the game. I don't know if it's quite like straight out of the gate, but it's, from what I hear, pretty early. And
I mean, based on where the story ended, it shouldn't be too far off, right?
Yeah. I know they still, from like a story standpoint, they still technically have to get to, if it follows closely to the original, they still have to go up to the mountain, right? And do the snowboarding stuff before you get the airship. Isn't that right?
Well, we have to do the snowboarding stuff. Like they can't get rid of that.
And technically, Wutai's optional in the original, so
but it looks like it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, but that, and then what they've kind of detailed outside of that, you can take on a lot of the non-story weapons in whatever order you want to, as like side content.
That'd be
cool. Knights of the Round sound as though they will be acquired via a boss battle with the Knights of the Round. So that's definitely, I think, new, right?
New.
That was not a thing in the first one, or the original. And then, just, the ability to kind of just go anywhere with really very little guardrails, which is something that mirrors the original game itself. But obviously, it was simulated in Rebirth. So
I think that's going to be big, because Rebirth was, like you said, it simulated the openness, but it wasn't quite really truly open. And being able to cross something of that graphical prowess at that speed and detail will be, it'll be interesting to see how they do it.
I don't know.
It looked good, but
I don't know how this game is going to run on the Switch 2. Like, I don't understand. It's mind-boggling if they can pull it off.
Fire.
It's got to be dock only. And then, and I want to say also that Square was clearly undeterred by some vocal minorities' disdain with a lot of mini games. It sounds like they're
They-
packing this one with a bunch of those again. So
They did say there'll be lots of mini games, but there will be less that are critical to the story. So, like in the last one, you had to do the mini games in order to like develop relationships with people. And this one, it sounds like that's not going to be the case. Although some of them should be like part of it. Well, no spoilers. We don't want to go into too
Sure.
much details because we played the. I mean, obviously we haven't played this game, but we played the original, and so we know at least kind of the
Right.
outline of how things are going to go. Jared, you're a Resident Evil fan like myself.
Mhm.
What do you think about the trailer of Veronica, Resident Evil Veronica?
I mean, I thought it looked great for what it was, just seeing the announcement trailer, but knowing how they end up redoing their games, Capcom, I have full faith in that it's going to be amazing. It's going to look amazing. I'm sure it'll play amazing. They're going to add to the lore like they've done with all of these. I'm really pumped for it. And I know this is one that the community has really wanted
Yeah.
a fresh coat of paint for. So I'm super excited for it.
I mean that RE. I forgot what that RE engine
I
stands
think it's called
for.
RE Engine. Oh,
but
what it
it's-
stands for.
It's
Yeah.
not Resident Evil. It's something else. I forgot what it stands for.
really
I-
efficient.
It could be. It's actually something like that. It's something
Really efficient
completely
engine.
different. But that engine looks fantastic, and it is really efficient. Actually, it works really well. So it looks like we've got that slated for
It's
2027.
the Reach for the Moon engine.
That's it. Reach
Huh.
for the Moon engine. So it's not what you'd think it would be. But it is a very fantastic engine, and let's be honest, Capcom is firing on all freaking cylinders in recent
yeah.
years. So we've got that coming out in 2027. Jared, Alien Isolation 2, that was another one you wanted to make sure we touched on the pre-run of the show. What are
Yeah.
your high-level thoughts on that?
I mean, I never played the first one. I'm too much of a weenie, and it seems terrifying. And
We played that one, a really bad Alien game that
Oh,
was
yeah.
on Game Pass.
yeah, Isolation's a different beast entirely because the AI of the Xenomorph I hear is super, super, super like what's the word I'm looking for? Sophisticated.
Okay.
And it
okay.
learns, and it pretty much will, if you do something one way one time, it'll do it the second, or it'll do something
Mhm.
completely different the next time around.
Yeah.
And so it's a really game changing mechanic, and I can only imagine. Alien Isolation came out a decade ago, so I can only imagine what they have in store for the community, a decade later, with the way technology's advanced so much in gaming and AIs especially too. So yeah, it'll be fun, and I'm excited to see what creators come up with for it. Because again,
Yeah.
I'm too much of a weenie to play Alien Isolation.
Wouldn't
Well,
it be funny
maybe
if
we'll,
the AI? Wouldn't it be funny if the AI of the alien also, like after it attacked you, it tried to help you rationally find ways to care for yourself and find medical attention via a nicely
It
bullet
probably
pointed
will. Like it'll be built
response.
into the response. Yeah.
Yes.
The Jared, we'll do a let's play. That'll
Yeah.
be a Halloween let's play in 2027. Alien
Okay.
Isolation 2. We'll set that all up and play. Josh, you and I both thought the Gundam Rogue Orbit was kind of a surprise hit
Yeah.
out of the show.
Well, I think people had been, and maybe I can't remember exactly who. Maybe it was Nate the Hate a while ago, but I could have sworn that I had even heard rumors of a Gundam game in the works.
I mean, there's always
within
a
the past
Gundam
6
game in the
months.
works.
Yeah, but I
to be
mean,
fair.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't recall anything like this coming out about Gundam though.
Yeah, they're
So
usually like
this looks like fun.
person fighting
Yeah.
games and stuff like that. So this is actually really cool that when it's got a story and it
Yeah.
plays, it looks a lot like an Armored Core type game, and it's actually its own unique story as opposed to following one of the animes, which makes me
Yeah.
really interested.
Yeah.
I always want to play like back on the Dreamcast they had Gundam Side Story 79, which you play first person like you're in the Gundam and
Yeah.
then you battle other suits and stuff. And that was really cool. I always want more of that. But this looks really fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll want to hype up here from the showcase, the Summer Game Fest, was a little game called, I think it was Amsterdam 1666.
66 Amsterdam, and I have
66
one more to
Amsterdam.
mention after this one.
Okay, Jared, you kind of popped in and said this game looks fantastic. What stuck out to you about this game? Just quick.
I just like
quickly.
the style of it, and it kind of feels like a mix of a few different games from the trailer. It kind
Yeah.
of felt like it's obviously Assassin's Creed because the lead guy on this made the original Assassin's Creed, or he helped with it.
Okay.
But then there's obviously supernatural aspects to it, so it looks like you're mixing in some of the witch trial stuff back in the day. I don't know. It just I like new things, and this is new, and it looks dark, and looks like there's a lot of good action to it. A lot of kind of creepy, scary lore.
There's a medieval red light district.
Maybe, I don't know.
I like the vibe of it. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
It gives me Order 1886 vibes, which
Yep, I can see
honestly,
that.
I think that game gets too much hate. I think it was really freaking good. It just was really short and more like an interactive movie for a lot of folks, but it's still one of the great looking games. And you said you have one other game you wanted to mention, Jared. What's that?
The Blood of the Dawnwalker.
Okay, tell us about that. What do you think?
Yeah,
what caught your eye?
It's a well, first of all, it has Witcher 3 DNA in it with the people that created it, which
Yeah.
that has some that carries weight in the community. From what I've seen, it looks absolutely gorgeous, but the mechanic of it's really cool. I mean, during the day you're a dude, and at night you change to a vampire, and I guess you play differently, day and night, obviously, because you're a supernatural blood-sucking being at night.
And that comes
That
out
would-
on the 3rd
that would be
of
different.
September.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's imminent, and it looks gorgeous. Looks like a nice big open world, interesting story and lore. So again, another new IP out there
Mhm.
with Witcher 3 DNA, which is exciting for all.
Yeah.
We'll
Or
have a
should
mini
be.
game called Gwant.
What? Yeah.
It
Watch.
looks really good. I'm looking at it right now, and that's coming out on PlayStation and Xbox and PC. It is not slated, at least as of right now, for Switch 2. And as Josh mentioned, September 3rd this year. So that looks really cool.
Around my birthday.
So just a quick recap. I don't think we didn't mention it, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced was highlighted July 9th, 2026. So that's coming out just in about exactly a month. Control Resonant mentioned again. Final Fantasy VII Revelation coming out in 2027 for all consoles. And then Gundam Rogue Orbit 2027 as well. And then we mentioned Code Veronica Remake. Did we get a release date for that?
I thought they said 2027. I don't know
think
that they gave a
2027.
specific date. Yeah.
That
That's
doesn't
right,
surprise me.
2027. And then Alien Isolation 2, I think, was no date, but projected 2027 as well. So with that, let's jump to the next showcase on the list, Xbox Game Showcase. We got some good highlights from this one, and I think one of the biggest surprises was the return of the Xbox exclusive. Well, something we thought was a dying breed. Apparently, the new CEO, Asha Sharma, has decided it's coming back. So we got two in the guise of Clockwork Revolution, which looks fantastic. I know, Jared, you're excited about that
So
game.
cool. Yeah.
I'm very excited about that game. We've been teased that game for a while, and it looks like it is finally coming. And that will be an Xbox exclusive. And
Looks very Bioshocky.
yeah, it does. There is no announced release date for that. We've got Gears of War E-Day coming out October 6th, 2026. That is also a Xbox exclusive. And that's the prequel to the Gears of War series. Did you guys watch those videos from... I know that this panel isn't a big Gears of War panel, but did you guys watch that video at all for Gears of War?
I did not.
It looks pretty freaking awesome. Like,
Does it?
I'm not a huge Gears of War guy. They are very good games. I just never really got into them.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. It looks really
Okay.
good. I'm tempted, especially it's going to be on Game Pass, so it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I want to get through all of them, but I always get distracted with something else.
Some other couple of highlights here. Metro. Did you guys ever play Metro? The Metro series?
Never did. Again, too much of a weenie, but it looks. I've watched some Let's Plays of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a cult community that loves that game. And it's made a big impact on first-person shooters. But I think it's exciting that they're making another one. And I hear this one's going to be a little bit more back to the original formula.
Okay.
The last one strayed away and took place out of Moscow. Took place on a train.
So that's
and
Metro
then in the suburbs.
2039, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a release date for that. And then, Jared, what about Senua? You and I are pretty big Hellblade fans. This is the continuation of the Hellblade saga, but not the Hellblade name.
The biggest thing that I've kind of picked up on this one is, well, first of all, you know it's going to look absolutely incredible because they go up
And it
balls to the
does. Yeah.
wall with visuals, but they say this one's a little bit more action adventure than the past ones have been. So,
The combat looked more involved, like quite a
yeah.
bit more involved.
And, that begs the question of, are they going to keep the balance of the narrative style of those games, or are they going to kind of throw them out for a more action-y driven game? Because those are deep games, and a lot of imagery and stuff to
Yeah.
them. So
I personally like the shorter nature of those games and the
yeah,
depth of the narrative. I think all it really needs is a little more involved, interactive, I would guess, gameplay, and
yeah,
that would be like almost a perfect game. A big one for me, and I'm gonna knock out two real quick.
yeah.
The Persona announcements. We got a
Mhm.
teaser trailer for Persona 6 just to let us know it is in the works and happening, and we got the release date for Persona 4 Revival, the remake of Persona 4, my personal favorite in the series. That's coming out February 18th, 2027. Josh, you need to check this series out. You would love the Persona series. It is, you liked Metaphor a lot. Metaphor is a Persona game. I mean, it's not, but that's the kind of RPG that Atlas makes, and Persona is what that
Yeah.
came out
No,
of,
and
essentially.
I think I actually own 2 Persona games that I've never
Okay.
played because
That's
I
sacrilegious.
know the time that it takes to play one of those games
Yeah.
is exorbitant,
Yeah.
and it's so hard with so many new games coming out, and
Yeah.
I want to, but I think what would benefit me would being able to play those like on maybe the Switch. That way I feel like I can play it anywhere. And
Yeah. I think
so,
Revival is coming to the Switch.
yeah.
Let me make sure. And then I would imagine 6 is too. Persona 4 Revival. What consoles is this coming to? It doesn't actually say right here. Oh, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series. It actually doesn't say it's coming out on the Switch. That's surprising. So, yeah, it would be a good Switch game to have. And I would imagine it would be doable on the Switch because it's the
Well,
same graphics
yeah.
that Metaphor has.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, not to put the cart before the horse, but I think we've already mentioned that Metaphor will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Those are revealed today, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if they can do it with Metaphor, surely they can do it
They
with
could do a Persona 4.
any other Atlas, AAA game.
They're not the most graphically demanding. It's more the
No.
gameplay, and
Yeah.
they are very stylistic, and that can take a lot of graphical prowess. And, like
Yeah.
the menus, moving through the menus requires a lot. But so two big ones. I'll start with more personally big from the Xbox showcase is the Halo not Combat Evolved. What did they Campaign Evolved
Campaign
trailer.
Evolved.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was watching the trailer for that, and they showcased the new first three missions that take place prior to getting to the ring to kind of give more background between Chief and Sergeant Johnson, and it looked like a brand new freaking game. Like it looked incredible. I'm very stoked for this game.
I am too.
Just the idea of replaying Halo sounds good to me in the graphical upres that they gave it. But we're getting 3 levels that are basically a new game.
Yeah, a modernized Halo is something I will always welcome. So.
Yeah, I'm hopeful too that this seems like their attempt to really get Unreal Engine under their belt and really figure out what Halo needs to be moving forward.
Yeah.
So this is a good way to do that. Give people some things to look forward to in the meantime. And we're getting the PlayStation audience involved too, which is going to be kind of weird. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just going to be kind of weird.
Yep, I agree.
Last thing we have to mention, this is the biggest, I think, the biggest thing that Xbox has coming right now, and that's Fable. It got pushed back, but we got a release date of February 23rd, 2027. What do you guys think? Fable, what do you think of the trailer?
I mean, the game has always looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited for this game. Like, they're such good games. It's a great series, great writing. I know they didn't, cut any corners on this one.
Yeah.
The studio's awesome. So I'm really excited for this game.
The writing looks good. I mean, it's cheeky.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's always cheeky.
It's good to see that it's still cheeky, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. That's the
under
risk
new management. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. This
Yeah.
isn't Lion's Head,
Yeah.
Lion's Head, or Lion's Gate. Lion's Head.
Lion's
I
Head.
don't remember.
Lionsgate
Lion's
is
Gate's a
a
movie.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, okay.
it's a film company. Yeah.
Film company, movie
Yeah.
studio, film company.
Studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big highlights from Xbox's showcase. Looking through real quick my
Oh,
notes. there's a
Spyro. That's another one.
Spyro A Realm Beyond was announced by Toys
Mhm.
for Bob. No date for that.
Although that one,
is-
they say that you'll be able to take to true flight basically right away, and the levels are more expansive as opposed to maybe a little bit more compact and rigid to maybe allow that exploration. So I don't think it's open world per se, but it definitely sounds like a shake up to the traditional
I mean,
formula.
Toys for Bob is a fantastic studio. I hate that Xbox decided to let them leave the fold, but I'm glad they let them leave the fold and not shut them down. Like they allowed them to
Destroy them.
spin out and do their own thing, and
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
State of Decay is another kind of big deal for Xbox, even though I've
Yeah.
never played them, but that's a big Xbox title.
It looks really good. I've never played them either, but we got that coming in 2027. It looks also terrifying.
Yeah.
So that is the Xbox showcase. Let's jump into the Nintendo showcase. And I mean, I think we got to jump to the big news, right, Josh? I mean, the main big news. And
Yeah, well,
and
yeah,
that's-
I'll cut you off right there. The main big news here is Big Walk.
thank you. I am so glad you said that. I was afraid you were going to do something else, but
It's
that is
basically
exactly.
you just walk around. You're like a weird little cataquack little
Yep.
looking guy from Super Mario Sunshine. No, I'm kidding. We're talking about Ocarina of Time remake.
Oh my God, it's real. I mean, like,
Mm.
I was pretty
Very-
confident it was real after we saw the Star Fox news, but
Yeah.
man, it's real.
Almost nothing though in terms of like
No.
detail, other than
Oh, yeah.
we see Link sleeping as a child.
But-
and
But that's got to be because they have another showcase
Yeah.
planned,
But-
right? Like they
but-
have a Zelda
yeah.
showcase or something, right?
the point is that it's a completely redone, redesigned Link that is akin to the original Ocarina of Time, but more realistic.
I
Yeah.
think it looks like a natural progression of
Yeah.
the graphics of what that game should
Yeah.
look like in the modern era.
It's not
It's
a
not
tuned-
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's not
It's not
it's
Breath
not
of the
cell
Wild.
shaded in any fashion from what
Yeah.
I could tell.
It looked acceptable to my standards when I saw it.
That was my next question: is where does Jared stand on this? So he approves. It's acceptable.
But and it was slated for a 2026 release. There was no date provided, but that's less than 7 months from now, technically.
December
so,
31st,
yeah.
2026.
So a little over 6 months till that game would be potentially delayed if it doesn't release in 2026. So,
I think Nintendo gets it out on time.
yeah, it's going to be
The-
out in November, most likely, would be my guess. So,
They would be that would be the game and the company that would release a game at the same time as GTA 6, right?
it's funny. I saw a meme earlier, and it was like one of those, like, you can't defeat me, and it's like, no, but he can, or they can, and it was like GTA 6 on the top panel, and then on the bottom it was Ocarina of Time remake.
Yeah.
I kind of busted out laughing at that, but
I mean, I'm gonna buy it for sure. This is
it's
one
gonna
I will
be
get physically, and I
yeah.
will get the collector's edition or whatever.
it's going
the
to be a
hell they give it.
console
So, like,
bundle. Like I can almost guarantee you, it'll be like a pack-in console title for
they may do
like
like a
holidays.
special edition, right? Like
yeah.
this
for
would
holidays,
be a perfect
yeah.
special edition one. Well,
Which
so
means
Ocarina
Daddy's
of Time.
got to get a new Nintendo Switch too, and Michelle can have my old one.
So, I mean, we got like a minute, we got 90 seconds off of that, and we could talk all night about this, but we'll keep moving. So, we already mentioned Onimusha, so I'll just quickly touch on it. It is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Nintendo.
I think this one is a big one for you, but the new Fire Emblem, Fortune's
Yep.
Leave.
Yeah,
That's a
I
game.
was telling you guys earlier today, I was a little annoyed about their announcement or lack thereof on the collector's edition when that might
That's
be.
what you were talking about.
Well, yeah, like I was. It like
I'm like, what is
allegedly
FE?
it allegedly went live at the obscure time of 11:45 this morning.
Well, it's the
so-
witching hour in Japan, so
I didn't know about it until 1 p.m. and they were already gone. So
that sucks.
But I mean, I'll probably just get a physical copy, and just for the collection of cases and all that. But I'm excited for it. It's a interesting mechanic that they're doing in this game. It's almost like story based exclusively around a Colosseum, and tournament they're in, but there's a little bit more of a. It's unclear like how much actual exploration or overworld traversing there really is outside of grinding, but. It's Fire Emblem. Everyone loves Fire Emblem, so I'm excited for it too. And one more big one
Comes out in September, by the way, September
Yes,
17th,
yeah, that comes out
2026.
the 17th, right? Is that you said?
Yep.
Another big one that we got a reveal of as a first party title was the Xenoblade Chronicles Genesis. And that was announced
Yes.
for 2027. It looks, Nintendo's starting to fall into this Atlas kind of motif where it seems like several games are revolving around schools. And it seems like that's where this game starts, is in some sort of like night school for like training or whatever.
I mean,
but
that's
clearly,
a popular motif
Yeah.
in actually going around right now in books and movies.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It'll be, but it looks, from graphical capacity and scale and scope, it looks like it will have the potential to rival the scope of any Xenoblade game, perhaps all of them. And that's saying
Which you
something
can
because they're all
also
massive
play
games.
because they're all three coming.
Yes.
Xenoblade's trilogy is coming as well in 2026.
You should, because they're great games,
So
especially three.
you know what game doesn't take place in a school but probably should? Kingdom
Don't tell
Hearts
me.
4.
Okay. Yeah, because they all should be in
They
high
should all
school.
be in school. What the hell's wrong with these kids?
And what
we
Sora
gotta-
never remembers his mom outside of the opening,
Yeah,
like
that's-
few cutscenes of the game.
And apparently he doesn't have a dad. I don't know that any of these kids have parents. It's a
I don't
weird
know.
story, Jared.
I'm not
if
an
you ever
anime
want to
protagonist,
really
so-
mess up your mind, go look up what is Kingdom Hearts about, and you'll not understand anything. And it's a deep hole, but it's really rewarding.
But you'll think you understand it, but
But
you
you
actually
won't.
don't. Only Tetsuya Nomura understands it.
I'm
And
not
even-
sure he
even
even
sometimes-
understands it.
I think he's just pulling it out of his ass as he goes.
I really do think that. But we got some gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 4, and it is
Yeah.
coming day and date to Switch 2.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good. Like, graphically, really good.
They
I mean,
revealed
I'm not
some
surprised.
some, like,
Square
Dark
Enix does a really
Road.
good job.
and other kind of like mobile characters as well in that trailer in a true console release, which I'm sure a lot of people are excited for as well.
Oh,
and
last... Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna mention one, just because
Yeah.
I thought this, was just a throwaway title. It was fun for what it was, but they made a Ninjala 2. The original one was strictly like a King of the Hill style, like melee ninja like game, sort of like a Splatoon, but like melee ninja stuff.
Okay.
This one is a true adventure game, which is like, and you can play it, I think, with up to 4 people. I don't know if it's online, I can't recall, but you can play it with up to 4 other players, like in the same adventure, apparently. And it looked like it had some merit, for the type of style of the game, as well as the shift and I guess the art style of the game, as well as in the shift of what the actual game is. So it looked like it was like it could be pretty fun.
It's coming in 2027. I am
Mhm.
not familiar with Ninjala, but Ninjala 2, The Uncharted Planet, coming to Switch 2. And that's kind of a big theme throughout, is third-party support is really here for Switch 2.
Yeah.
The last one that we'll mention is also a third-party title,
yeah.
and that is Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Resonance, the first and only at this point Final Fantasy game to be made in the HD 2D style.
They caved. Square caved. Everyone wanted it, and they finally did it. And also,
looks
it's
really
not
pretty.
so. This game is, I believe, if I understand correctly, within the same universe and perhaps time setting as the Brave Exvius mobile game.
I think it's
Yeah.
a remake of Brave Exvius.
Is it? Okay.
In a non-mobile style, kind of like Octopath Traveler 0.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not positive about that because I did play Brave Exvius briefly, but not in detail, like in depth.
What's interesting about this game, though, is that you can basically like summon other Final Fantasy heroes. They show Cloud as a person that you can summon, and immediately
Squall and Hero Light and stuff like
immediately
that.
that makes me harken back to Fire Emblem Engage, where Nintendo kind of did something similar, where you get these rings and you wear them on specific characters, and they can summon past Fire Emblem entry like main character heroes,
Mm-hmm.
which is an interesting concept. And I was I'm surprised, Square hasn't really employed this in a with the amount of Final Fantasy entries they have. They haven't employed this tactic to date. But yeah, it looks like it'll be interesting to check out.
It'll be interesting for that one. Do we have a date on that? I don't see one right
Gosh,
now.
you would ask me that, wouldn't you?
I think it's 2027.
I was thinking it was like in the fall for some reason. I thought it was October. Does that sound right?
Maybe. Final Fantasy Resonance release date. Let's see what that says. This is great audio. Oh, yeah, you're right. October 2022, 2026.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming to all platforms,
and they've had
the original
it in the
Switch.
So and they kept this under wraps too. There was I don't think there was any like leak about this or anything. So kudos to Square.
Just to kind of wrap things up, let's go through. Josh, what is your pick of the PlayStation Showcase? What's your top game?
Just because it's coming out this year, I got to go with Wolverine.
Okay.
I think LaFay would be, the second option.
Number 2. Jared, do you have a pick from the PlayStation Showcase?
What I'd be most excited about is God of War.
Yeah. I would probably go with God of War LaFay as well. Jared, what's your Summer Games Fest pick?
I'm going to say Blood of the Dawnwalker, actually. I forgot that was mentioned there, and I'm really excited for that.
Dark Horse, okay. I think I will pick, Final Fantasy VII Revelation, absolutely. But I think my Dark Horse pick is let's say the Gundam Rogue Orbit. I'm actually really excited and interested in that game. Josh, what's your Game Fest pick?
Well, it's Final Fantasy Revelation.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably give it a toss-up between Rogue Orbit and the Blood of the Dawnwalker.
Okay.
Not the Daywalker, the Dawnwalker.
The Dawnwalker. And Josh, what's your Xbox Showcase pick?
My Xbox Showcase pick is I'll go the Campaign Evolved. I didn't watch that showcase admittedly, so
that's a good choice. Jared, what's your pick?
Fable.
Yeah,
Fable.
It's hard to. Fable was that was mine as well. It looks so freaking good. I think outside of that, it's maybe Persona. Halo is definitely up there, but yeah, Fable.
Halo's up there, but if Halo were completely original, I understand there's new content, then it might edge out Fable. But Fable, it's.
I'm with you. But hearing that vocal line coming in at the beginning, that chorus line, that will be pretty epic.
Dude. Yeah.
Yep. So I think my Nintendo pick of the show is, it's Ocarina of Time remake. Is anyone picking anything different?
Rhythm Heaven? You don't want to play
the good games I hear.
There's an RPG in it now. You can heal yourself and cast fire by.
So speaking of obscure games, have you guys seen the video game that is literally an airplane simulator? You're sitting and watching the back of a seat for 4 hours at a time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ace Combat 8.
It's a legit game. Nope, that's a different one.
I'm excited for Ace Combat 8. I love that series.
That's a good series, and it's no $800,000 cockpit setup. But
they pumped that into with some sort of budget. It looked like for sure.
Yeah.
That game looks pretty massive.
But for real, Josh, what's your pick of Nintendo's show? Is it Ocarina?
I think I have a little bit. I know what to expect out of Ocarina of Time, and I know I'm gonna love it. So I think I'm gonna go with Fortune's Weave, just because it's new. And it's Fire Emblem, and I'm kind of excited because I believe it's technically set in the same world as Three Houses, but in a distant, time past it or in the future, before or after it. So that's where I would go.
Jared, do you have a pick of the show for Nintendo?
It's Ocarina.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hard one not to pick. All right, last thing we'll do, and then we're going to wrap things up. Give me your rankings from the showcases, from top to bottom. What was your top showcase to the bottom showcase? Josh, favorite showcase? Who had the best showcase? Go.
Man, that's tough. I know this is going to rub people the wrong way, but I think I might go with Nintendo. I think I might say Nintendo had the best showcase.
Solid pick.
I think number 2, I'm going to go with Summer Game Fest. 3 Xbox and 4 PlayStation.
Okay. Jared, how about you?
I would say Game Fest, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and that's the order I'm just invested in the last 2.
Yeah.
So,
I have to go. I thought Xbox had a really awesome showcase this year, and I'm pretty much all those games I'm at least somewhat interested. Summer Game Fest was really close, and actually when I went back and did the recap, there was a lot of stuff in there that I'm really interested in. So that's my number. That's probably my number 2, but Nintendo is like right up there as well. So those 3 are all really close. I got to put PlayStation at the bottom though, because they just didn't show me enough that I'm like really interested in right now. And they always make great games, and I will probably buy several of them and play them to death. But
Yeah. And
this showcase is a little weaker for me.
we didn't even talk about the fact that Koizumi-san lost to the computer in a thumb wrestling match on the Direct.
Yeah,
I just
that
I just
happened.
like tuned into it to watch him doing a thumb wrestling match. I'm like, what is going on here? He's just like, oh. And I'm like, what am I watching right now?
All right, with that, we're going to wrap up. This has been a special episode. This will probably go up tomorrow. So you'll probably hearing this in your feed Wednesday. We will continue with our regularly scheduled monthly episodes. Following this, we'll be redoing our episode of Star Wars Outlaws, because that one didn't work out for some reason. We still have a Marvel Cosmic Alliance. Is that coming? And then I'm thinking we got to do a Mina the Hollower one, because Josh and I
We
need
didn't
to
even
talk
about that today, did we?
I know. We'll save it for later. All right, folks. Thank you. If you like this episode and you want to hear more of these, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a good review. Send us messages on play2win at play2win pod@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on X at pod_win. We are in all your podcast catchers at play2win. And if you really don't like us, we don't want to hear from you. Don't say anything. Tell your enemies.
Any
Punish those
press
around
is
you.
good press. So
With that, we're out. See you guys.
Bye.